Every single person in media knew that there was going to be a leak of the Matt Gaetz ethics investigation file. It was speculated on by everybody. Matt Gaetz resigns from Congress as he's nominated to be the AG. He says you can't have that many absences. And Mike Johnson said this will probably give us enough time to try and fill the seat before January 3rd. Makes sense. The Democrats and the corporate press argue that Matt Gaetz resigned because this would get him out of Congress before the ethics panel could release this damning investigation where they claim he was in adult relations with a woman when she was 17. Now, these accusations are considered to be bunk. They're considered to be lacking any real credibility. And you need only understand one circumstance why you should believe it. The DOJ investigated it and brought no charges, citing a lack of credibility from the witnesses. There's no evidence that Matt Gaetz did anything. But there's an investigation. They claim to have two individuals claiming that it indeed happened. But these individuals were deemed to have no credibility and no charges were ever brought. So I don't care what two random weirdos have to say about Matt Gaetz. We don't pass judgment based on this. Now, the funny thing is, as they claimed Matt Gaetz dipped from Congress to avoid the release of this document, everyone said that would only make sense if it wasn't going to get leaked anyway. Here's the story, my friends. They say a hacker is said to have gained access to the file. Oh, a hacker. I believe that. The computer file is said to contain testimony from a woman who said she had sex with Matt Gaetz, Trump's choice to be AG, when she was 17. An unidentified hacker has gained access to a computer file shared in a secure link among lawyers whose clients had given damaging testimony related to Matt Gaetz, the former Florida congressman who was President-elect Donald J. Trump's choice to be Attorney General. A person with knowledge of the activity said. The file of 24 exhibits is said to include sworn testimony by a woman who said that she was with Gaetz in an adult capacity when she was 17, as well as corroborating testimony by a second woman who said that she witnessed the encounter. The information was downloaded by a person using the name Altum Beasley at 1:23 p.m. on Monday, according to the person who was not authorized to speak publicly. A lawyer connected to the case sent an email to the address associated with Altum Beasley, only to be informed in an automated reply, the recipient does not exist. You know, I'm going to make a bet. I'm going to say it's Democrats in the deep state, and they're deeply upset with Matt Gaetz. They are terrified of him, and this is lawfare. It's subterfuge. It is cold civil war, whatever you want. But you know what? I'm going to say it right now. Say whatever you want about Matt Gaetz. I literally don't care. These things don't work anymore. And you know what? You tried it on Trump. You tried it on Brett Kavanaugh. You are the deep state that cried rape. And I just don't care anymore. You have no credibility. So this entirely meaningless. But I do got to say, I love the story of, it's a hacker. He got it. Yeah, I believe that. They say the material does not appear to have been made public by the hacker. The documents include information that is under seal with the Justice Department, which investigated Mr. Gaetz but did not file charges, and the House Committee on Ethics, which has completed its own inquiry into the former congressman. The ethics panel members are scheduled to meet on Wednesday to decide on whether to vote to release the material it has gathered. And they're probably going to do it. If they don't, this will be held by the hacker until right before confirmation. It will get leaked and we'll go through this stupid Kavanaugh hearing process once again that nobody's going to believe, because even with all of these claims, let me scream it to the high heavens for the deep state. You claim Donald Trump was responsible for sexual abuse or whatever in the E. Jean Carroll case. He still won the popular vote. We're done with your lies, okay? They're going to say, but the hacked trove of documents stems from an altogether different source, a civil suit being pursued by a friend of Mr. Gaetz, Christopher Dorworth, a Florida businessman. Dorworth filed the suit against both the woman who says she was in relations with Gaetz when she was a minor, and Joel Greenberg, an erstwhile ally of Gaetz who was serving an 11-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to federal trafficking charges involving the woman. You mean to tell me the guy who's in prison for trafficking this young woman is now claiming that Matt Gaetz is actually, yeah, I believe that. Mr. Dorworth has claimed that he was defamed by Mr. Greenberg and the woman, both of whom had told federal authorities that Dorworth hosted parties where they, and Gaetz and others took drugs and openly had sex. In mustering the defense, lawyers for Greenberg and the woman have solicited sworn statements from others who they say were witnesses. The 24 exhibits were attached to a motion prepared by lawyers for Mr. Greenberg and the woman in response to Mr. Dorworth's suit. In addition to the depositions from the woman who was a minor at the time of the encounter and the woman who said she was a witness, the hacked information also includes sworn testimony from Mr. Dorworth and his wife, as well as testimony from Michael Fisher, Mr. Gaetz' former campaign treasurer, who is also said to have attended the party. It also contains various supporting material, such as gate logs showing who entered the property of the Dorworth home on the evening of July 2017, when the two women said the encounter with Mr. Gaetz occurred. The material apparently taken by the hacker is unredacted and includes the names and other personal information of the witnesses, but is otherwise said to be more damaging to Mr. Gaetz than to his accusers, according to the person familiar with the hack. The hacker had not contacted the lawyers as of Tuesday morning, and it was not clear what motive the person might have. Yeah, unclear what the motive might be. Matt Gaetz as AG is a nuclear bomb in the Beltway. DOJ staffers are terrified. They're already lawyering up. When Donald Trump named Matt Gaetz as AG, I bought champagne. I know you all know this. But I said, this was not a shot across the bow. Typically what you see, or what we typically see, is a political move will be made that sends a warning signal. We mean business. But a shot across the bow is not targeting the ship, as it were. Saying that he's nominating Matt Gaetz, Donald Trump was basically like, we've got nukes. They're pointed right at you. And so these deep state spies, these intel agents, oh boy, they're facing some serious trouble. Now, what can I say of Matt Gaetz? He's been on the show several times. He stands up to the power structures of D.C. that the left used to complain about, but now all of a sudden seems to march in lockstep behind. So you mean to tell me that Matt Gaetz, who's funded by his constituents, not by lobbyists and lobbies or PACs or whatever, that he goes after the machine, he goes after Kevin McCarthy, then he gets an ethics investigation levied at him, and I'm supposed to believe these are true? Let's play this game. Let's say Matt Gaetz said, I'm not going to go up against Kevin McCarthy. I'm going to play ball. We know there would be no investigation. This is how they operate. They blackmail you. They tell you you must fall in line or else. But what if there's nothing on you? They make it up. Donald Trump and E. Jean Carroll, when they did that, anybody who could read the news and chose to realized this tactic is wrong. Now, what Nancy Pelosi's called it, she called it the wrap-up smear. We talked about it earlier. That you levy a smear against somebody, get the press to report it, and then merchandise on the reporting. Because once it's in the press, now it's news. This is the game they're playing with Matt Gaetz. They're saying Trump's AG pick, Matt Gaetz, comma, who was investigated for child trafficking or they say sex with a minor. Investigated for? I made this joke on X over the weekend. I'm going to start hiring private investigators to investigate all these journalists for wacky stuff, just so that we can we can say without fear of liability that the individual was investigated for, insert whatever you want to investigate him for. I can say that, hey, that liberal personality was investigated for cheating on his wife or for fraud. And what does that mean? Investigated for. This is an attempt to smear and try and take down Matt Gaetz because they know he is a nuclear bomb on the Beltway. I think it was, I can't remember who it was in the Trump administration. They said he's a lawyer. He's got experience. He was in Congress. He's got an axe to grind. And that axe to grind is going to make him effective and hard to buy out. This is a guy who doesn't need deep state funding and doesn't need to play these games. It is sad, though, because I see a lot of people falling for these things, saying, he was investigated for these things. Well, I'm so scared. Investigated and no charges were brought. The Department of Justice that says he's a bad choice, the Department of Justice that was investigating Donald Trump for documents and not Joe Biden, the Department of Justice that was claiming Donald Trump was engaged in an insurrection. You mean when they got claims about Matt Gaetz, they did not pursue them and you think it's still true? Spare me your lies. I'm not here to play these games. Donald Trump needs to get in. We are still 2 months out. So don't count your chickens before they hatch. Everybody's saying, yay, Trump won. Yeah, he won when he's in office, protected, and he gets his appointments in. They will obstruct. This is all far from over. A hacker. You know what, man? That may work on the weaker-willed and stupid people, but no one thinks a hacker did this. Smash the like button, share the show with everyone you know. Become a member at timcast.com. We got one more segment coming up for you. Stick around, and we'll see you all shortly.